Don't eat there.
Don't disappear we are continue to help you, Susan. Thanks.
Okay, it's still not 4 years. Jeez, but
Are we ready to start?
big shot.
Well, then I'll call the council to order, and I will have a reconciliation with Councilor Lickman.
Thank you.
In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge our meeting place. The City of Flin Flon Council Chambers is situated in the ancestral lands of Treaty 5 territory. We would like to acknowledge that we also work in partnership with the First Nations in Treaty 6 and 10 territory and the Métis Nation.
And then we're going to follow up because you wanted to say something.
I was just going to say on behalf of the City of Flin Flon, we want to wish the Flin Flon Bombers all the best in their upcoming season with the home opener this Friday, 7:30 at the Whitney Forum.
It's going to be nice.
While we're doing things like this, sorry, I should have mentioned this before, but I just wanted to send out a shout out to a couple of people. Kelly Senick and her son who cleaned up the skate park. And also my good friend Allison Dallas Funk and Mike Funk, who on their own cleaned up Main Street after I drove down to the golf course and garbage was strewn all over the place. They did it on their own time and did a heck of a job. So
Thank you.
Thanks.
Step by step. Steps.
So we'll follow that with Councilor Henson, reading and confirming minutes.
Okay, be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held September 3rd, 2024 be adopted as received.
Second, Councilor Litwin. All in favor? Great. And we'll move to Councilor Dallas Funk.
Thank you. Check schedule 34-10. Be it resolved that the accounts in the amount of $1,314,132.31 be approved for payment.
Seconder, Councilor Slip. All in favor? And that's done. Again, I think it's Councilor Dallas Funk.
Yes, thank you. CFAR radio, proposal. It looks different.
Yeah.
We're getting it. 34-11. Be it resolved that the agreement between the City of Flin Flon and CFAR for the 2024-2025 year be ratified and approved for signature by the proper officers of the City of Flin Flon.
Seconded, Councilor Hanson. All in favor? Then it's passed. Sure. Then we'll move on. Let's see. I've got these two. I don't know why I'm running these being two of these here, but let's see. So we're going to Councilor Riplin.
I have one resolution, Your Worship, Resolution 34-12. Be it resolved that the City of Flin Flon contribute $850 to Flin Flon Minor Hockey for a platinum sponsorship.
I need a seconder for that. Councilor Slip, for sure. All in favor? Great, and that's taken care of. Well, I believe we're going to go to Councilor Hanson.
Yes. Resolution for that, the chief tax enforcement.
Be it resolved the tax service on behalf of the City of Flin Flon be authorized to proceed under the Tax Enforcement Act to acquire titles for the following described land lot 15 loggers R4035 CW5336 Stony.
Need a seconder. Councilor Dallas Funk. All in favor? Two. So move on to Councilor Slip.
yes, I have two this evening, Mayor. First is 3.5 residential lot purchase incentive agreement 34-14. The City of Flin Flon wishes to increase capacity to attract new residential housing builds through a $1 per residential lot incentive. Therefore, be it resolved that the City of Flin Flon adopt a $1 per residential lot purchase incentive for new home builds, and that the Mayor and CAO be given the proper authority to enter into the agreement of purchase and sale as presented by legal counsel and attached to this resolution.
Seconder, Councilor Hanson. All in favor? Okay, so it's passed. And Councilor Slipping.
And Fire Chief Report 34-15, this is for July. Be it resolved that the Fire Chief's report for the month of July be received and filed.
Need a seconder. Councilor Dallas Funk. All in favor? That is. And that puts us to adjournment.
Motion with that.
Yep, thank you. And then we move from there to questions. We'll start with you.
Sure. Hey, Mike, that resolution you're right, can you need a little more detail on what that is?
Lynn probably could do better, but I'll try. Anybody who is interested in building a new house and on one of our lots, we'll sell it to them for $1. But they have to have, 6 months. They have to have a plan, and within a year, the building has to be built. If it's not, the agreement is null and void. And what it's trying to do is incentivize people to do some more residential building. And I mean, the dollar is nothing compared to the taxes that we'll get once that, and also
Existing empty lots.
Yeah, I think it's infill lots of park.
infill
It's all any lot. It's any lot.
that we'll.
Yes.
Even ones we have to put in the structure.
And basically what you're saying, no.
Already.
No, already serviced.
That's right. Yeah, we have to have an agreement or a plan within 6 months, and then the building has to be completed within 2 years.
So, okay.
Yeah. No, all right.
So it's any lot in which you have any goods.
That we own.
That's all there was. Service. Okay. Here's a young gal who moved back to Flin Flon and inquired about a couple of lots and were told they were an unbelievable price, and she wouldn't consider. She's been looking to be able to sell those lots that are the city that are available.
Yeah.
For her to purchase.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as the requirements are met.
It's all pretty clear, so as you can pick up the rules for it, just come to the city, pick up the rules and see if they want to fit into that scheme.
Again, just have a couple other quick questions here. Believe it or not, what's this partnership with CFPR? What is it?
What's just our
Agreement.
annual
Agreement on what?
advertising?
Yes.
So like city beat, the garbage schedule, any use that we do with the radio?
I'm just agreement on advertising.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, when we come and when the fires are on and we'd come and
That was all going to be served.
yeah, it's just the agreement, just like Ford would have an agreement.
Okay. And the other question I have is, Allison, it's okay if I use your name for setting up that garbage in my report, or you want me not to put that in there?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I just want to ask.
Yeah, no, you can. Yeah.
Okay, so this $1 price each lot thing, and I had some questions about this. I bet you're shocked. First of all, specification about residential lot, I would assume this does not count for potential commercial property or any other large developments, correct?
No.
Correct.
Okay. So in terms of like infill lots for residential purposes, like how many lots, and I'm not asking for an exact number, but maybe ballpark, like how many lots would the city have that would fit this parameter rate? Oh,
Lynn's got a base.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I can even get names to guess. I mean, last year we knocked down 14 houses and have 4 infill lots just last year. So this includes any lot that's serviced in our community. So there's a fair number of vacant lots within our municipal boundaries.
Okay.
And some very nice ones.
Yes, there are some very good ones as well. And those are $1 as well, as long as you have your permit within 6 months and you're billed within 24.
okay. There was a mention of conditions, like for example, having a building up within 2 years, and I'd be like that. Are there any conditions regarding ownership, like who could apply for this? Like, are you looking to have like more of like single home owners or like property management companies, something like that? Like, what's the goal for that?
Well, the goal is single homeowners. We're not, but we're prepared to look at whatever, as long as it meets the criteria for a new home building. And each one of these will have an application form that they'll need to do. So we'll need to be able to look at those and make sure we're all aware of parameters.
Where do you get those application forms?
We just got the resolution now, so I'll have stuff right in this.
Okay.
And it's print desk. We'll put them up on the website.
Okay.
Aside from the 2-year contingent, like that needs to be built, and so that, what other conditions are laid out for this program?
What were you thinking of in that question? Like, what type of conditions are you thinking that we like to see?
Well, I mean, what other things would, because I would assume here, if you don't follow that one condition of building a place on this land within 2 years, if you've bought this land for $1, it's a conditional purchase. If you don't follow that condition,
Correct.
it's null and void. Are there any other things within that, if somebody applies to this for the dollar and they don't follow this, that would make that null and void?
I think other than following the building code, I don't know what other conditions we could.
Well, yeah, and it has to be a residential, so it couldn't just be I couldn't put a giant garage. I couldn't go buy a lot.
Yeah.
But the garage would have to be something that someone could live in. So I know the conditions.
We'll have to approve the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that there are 3 different residential zoning areas in our community. There's a 1, 2, and 3, and the area of 1 allows for the smallest square footage right now, which is 700 square feet in that residential area. And so let's just say that someone came along with the desire to build a 650 square foot home. That would be on a case-by-case basis. So we would be looking at that then, and we would end up having them, they'd have to take variance if you move forward in that way. So there is a little bit of conditioning that people have to be aware of with regards to the expectation of a size of home in our current bylaws. Right.
Okay. I would assume that customary rates for connecting water and sewer or maintain water and sewer would be the same for this property as it would be for any other property within Flin Flon with similar value.
Yeah, also legal fees, so water is still also a thing that needs to pay. It's the lot itself that is the dollar transaction, right?
Okay.
2 lots are together and someone wants to buy both the lots. Would they cost them $2? Could they get both the lots for $1 each? Are they going to build a house on each lot? Is there one that the lots aren't big enough for the home that they want?
I think it would depend on what lot size you're talking about.
You know, the lot where they're looking, especially they're out of town where the lots they're looking at were not big enough to build house.
I think we'd have to look at the zoning.
I was going to say, yeah.
And if the zoning allows for it. The other thing is, if you've got serious questions, and if these people have serious questions, they can sit and talk to us, and we will put them together with our bylaw office there, and we'll see, what it is we can work, and if we have to make a variation or that sort of thing, we'll study that too. If it's a positive move for this community,
Exactly.
Serious.
well, we will. If it's a positive move for this community, we will look at it seriously, and I'm not worried whether it's $1 or $2. That's a token figure. It's you know what I'm saying. It's just like if we can make it work, we will. That's the whole idea behind this, is we want to come across as open for business, and so we'll see what it takes. But if it's serious business, that's what we're in. There are other towns who have given incentives. You've seen this lately, somebody in Saskatchewan who had incentives, and their incentives were a different kind of thing, but this is a similar thing. There's no cost to step in, so all we're asking is you start paying taxes once you got a building on the place. So that you're not starting off with like some places where you've got a $50, $60, $80, or $150,000 price to buy the property before you start. We're saying, no, you start from ground zero, so it's up to you. I think it's a good advantage to young people, anybody, or even seniors looking to, size down. It's a good opportunity.
To double back here, I believe the city's home buyer assistance program is still in place.
Yes.
Would somebody then be able to, buy a parcel of land for $1 and then put up a building and then utilize that in addition to the $1 lot buy?
Hypothetically, and in some situations, because there is actually a limitation on the value of the home buyer assistance program, and it tops out at $200,000 value of a home.
Okay.
So if most likely, unless you were building a smaller home, your value of your home itself is going to top out over $200,000.
Okay.
But if it doesn't, Jane would indeed qualify for the home buyers program as long as you meet the criteria for your income level.
Okay.
You're talking the case of seniors and a small RTM and getting permission to build on a lot, and and we come to agreement. All these things could happen, and there's no reason why they wouldn't. It's all incentives to make things happen. And as I said, if they look promising, we will certainly look at it.
Yeah. And to go off with, I believe Flynn said, with the different levels of residential zoning, this could go with that. Would something like a housing complex be seen as something that would be buildable, including this deal, like with a $1 lot buy, and somebody could put at least a multi-unit dwelling or something?
Well, you want to throw up $1 million property, we'll say about $100.
But that is probably a different incentive.
Yeah.
Because we do have a commercial incentive as well.
Okay.
And we talked about that. We passed that into the bylaw maybe a year ago, something like that.
Okay. So if somebody wants to build, say, an assisted living situation,
Very good.
they could qualify for this, or they qualify for this commercial?
Or it qualifies for the commercial. And the commercial, it's based on what their incentive looks like. It's based on, there's a chart of about 6 questions. And one of the questions is, will you be creating jobs in our community? Will you be enhancing economic development? So there's some questions that are associated with that.
Effects. One more question on this before we go off and other stuff, because believe it or not, you have questions about other things. I would like to just ask generally, and more of a broad question, and anybody who wants to answer can answer it, but can you speak a little bit to the need of new builds in Flin Flon? I know we haven't had too many of them in the last several years, but what sort of need do you think Flin Flon has for new housing starts or for new builds?
I don't think there's, I'll start with this. I don't think there's anything that's built that goes empty, okay? So everything will be filled if it's built by seeing that. One of the needs the community has is to prove itself that we're coming back. There was a downturn when a company does what this one did and leaves town. A lot of people had a lot of apprehension about values and that sort of thing. I think this town is leveled off. I think it's ready to go in a forward position, and I think we can rebuild ourselves with a lot of these initiatives. And we don't need to be a huge metropolis, but we have to be a healthy community. We are that. We're making sure we got all the quality of life issues. Now we want to bring people in who want to live that quality of life.
I don't know if Miss McKinnon's friends are they from out of town? They don't have to tell us who they are, but
No, they're born and raised here and have worked back.
okay. So
I've been looking the.
it's we want more people here.
And we do have people moving in.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Like we have with surrounding our community, there are lots of opportunity right now. There are organizations such as Orion Crisis, even High Bay, looking for hiring more people. And so if we would like those people to live here and this is their home base rather than living in another community, however far away that they can to work. We want to be attractive to them. Home ownership in the city of Flin Flon is more affordable than it is in places like Saskatoon, Winnipeg, almost anywhere, because our home prices are affordable. And if we now make the lots affordable as well, then those homes can be built.
Okay. So, that helps. Let's shuffle some, shall we? My understanding is that the city of Flin Flon has just begun doing public transport routes into Creighton. I chatted a little bit with Lane about this earlier, but wanted to get some more information and just kind of see what this program's about. To my understanding, it's one with a term, I believe, until next June, where it will be really readopted. But walk me through a little bit of the process that it took to get this started, because I know Flin Flon buses used to run up to Creighton way back when, and that was discontinued. I believe the town of Creighton had an issue with cost. How did this start happening again, and what are we looking at in terms of total cost for any party involved?
Well, anybody else want to take this, or do you want me to just...
I can tell I would start it.
Yeah.
Started the fact is that we work together as 3 communities as an economic development type of thing. We sit together, once a month or almost at that rate.
Yeah.
We talk about things that would be positive to all communities in the area. And we try and realize that we've been working and we've been segregated in a lot of the types of things we did. So we just said, we've got a bus running anyway. What if we did, for our businesses, for example, if people from the neighboring community want to come in, they don't all have transportation, they can come in and use our businesses. That's good for our community. That's good for their community. So then basically it was left in the hands of the administrators, and that's where I'll pass it to Ms. Brown.
Okay, and so following my head conversation, our company that manages the bus system took a look at what it would cost in terms of having it right now. I think it's just 2 stops in Creighton. I have to look. Don't put me on the
Yeah.
And the cost was very acceptable to the town of Creighton, and so they were willing to move forward.
Okay. Okay. I believe looking at the schedule that it was 3 times a day.
Could be.
And I believe it's Monday to Friday. I don't think there was any weekend service to Creighton.
You're right. There was no weekend service.
Not because I'm fun either, right?
Yeah, there's weekend service.
I'm taking a bus.
I know for on the regular bus schedule, it's marked out as Monday to Friday, so I know what the bus schedule will be like for weekends.
There is on the bottom of the left-hand side of that bus schedule that I sent you. The weekend bus schedule is there.
Totally. Fair enough. All right. So, also speaking of buses, in the time since the last meeting, I believe, I think it happened not long after the last meeting, but the main bus link or highway transport link from Flin Flon closed out Mohican bus lines. I'm wondering if anybody here can spare a moment.
I'll tell you, came up with the chamber meeting today. Thompson Bus Line is going to start running a route between Flin Flon and Winnipeg, and they're not too far just the future.
Okay.
Just came up today, so.
Can anybody speak a little bit to the impact of not having Mohican or the deal that Rob just mentioned?
Not having it, speaking to it, yeah, because
Having it or having it in coverage.
well, the answer to both is we need the service. We need the service for people who don't have their own personal transportation, also for people who require it for medical, that sort of thing, for running out of town. There's a lot of use that it can be put to, as long as it's a good, clean service, it's a regular service, and a reliable service, I think it'll be used. But I've had comments from several people who said, like, we've used it, we appreciate having it, and this is from some people too who have their own driver's licenses, but especially in times of year where it's a little more iffy driving yourself, they'd far prefer, even if it took a couple hours extra, to just pay the money and read a book and get there, So, but in terms of health travel, I've had people tell me it's very important. They'll have to cancel medical things because they can't afford, and I'm not really a specialist on this, but there is a difference between what the travel gives you and what you have to pay on an airline ticket. And for some people, that's just too much. They can't go. They forego medical services. This way they can make it work. So they still have a choice. It's a harder on your bum choice, but they have a choice.
Okay. And just going off of the Thompson bus lines thing, because Rob announced it here, have they been in touch with City Council in any way about any of this? Or
I think perhaps that's a little bit preliminary, but they just talked about it today in the second you're making an announcement to the near future.
Yeah. Okay.
So I suspect once they're ready to do that, they'll be and that's at the Bruce.
Okay. I wish the chamber stopped holding meetings. It's literally the one time a week I can't come to. Or that's a problem. I could probably get the minutes from them, but it means they're still listed meeting. So, but whatever. That's a conversation between me and them. Also, one last thing here. I know that I believe last month the city gave the thumbs up for hiring a new CAO. I know if the new CAO is start date, and if our current CAO has a end date.
Somebody else want to take this?
This is our beloved CEO's last council meeting as CEO tonight.
Our new one starts on Monday. Sandy Stokes. Lynn will be staying on with the organization in a different capacity. She will be working 3 days a week as our treasurer.
Okay. So that's a job you had before.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And probably me is less annoying questions at me.
Yeah, maybe. We take this opportunity, since you bring it up, we all are very, very pleased with the service we've gotten from Lynn. We weren't looking to lose her, but she wants to go in a different path, and one that suits her better. So, yes, we're looking forward to our new CAO, and we think that's going to go very well, but we're about to find out. It's starting real soon. So it's just a whole transition, and I think this whole business is a constant transition, so we'll try to make it work.
Does that not mean, I don't know if the city already has a treasurer on staff. Does this
No.
mean any sort of other staff changes?
No. Well, we did have a treasurer before. That was Lynn's actual position. And then she became the CAO/treasurer, which is actually 2 positions. When we originally hired Joy, she was hired on as HR/finance. And we've transitioned Joy just to HR. It is a way larger department and way more work. The city's never actually had somebody just for HR. So it's a ground up with policies and starting. So it is convenient and really great for us that Lynn has decided to stay on to help with the finance side of it and be the treasurer 3 days a week.
And you know, I've said this many times, but I don't know what we would have done without Lynn.
Sure.
As a new council.
Yeah.
We would.
Happy retirement, non-retirement.
Yeah.
See you Monday. Is that it, Eric?
Yes.
Hi, did you have something you wanted to say?
No, I was just coming in to observe.
Oh, okay.
Good for you. Thank you.